been well. I just wanted to say a few things. Starting off, it's okay to enjoy the moment, enjoy where your life is now, even if it's not your ideal situation, and just be happy. It's okay to, have a light heart while, feeling as if, you have to go or to grind in this hardworking, diligent way, is not always a bad thing. I mean, not always a good thing, but not necessarily a bad thing. It's just more so about, like, what is your intention behind it. I think sometimes we need to slow down and think about, like, how am I going about this? Like, is it required for me to be this way? Or is it not? And take a step back to really think about what's going on and just rethink where you are in life. Sometimes when we go through transitions, you feel you have expectations of yourself that you've always had, that you just want to meet because of what's going on in your life. And it seems as if that may be needed even more. But when we go through transitions, things have to change, and that means we can't do what we used to do before. Can't run as fast if you had, asthma, if you developed, something that affects your breath. I'm not going to say it. Anyways, but it requires a transition and a change, and that comes with patience with yourself and grace and attentiveness. Of course, we're not saying that, but it's not lazy, or it's not you being like selfish or self-seeking or anything like that if you're requiring that change. And our minds have to be open, because the enemy can use that against us to prevent us from doing what the Lord actually wants us to do, rather than what we think the Lord wants us to do based on other seasons in our life. And it's okay to be in that place. But I just say that so that no one, gets confused or, sways. Just pray about it and ask for guidance, But I do feel like it's important for us to talk about the things that go on in our lives with the Lord, and any feelings we have, uncertainties, whatever it is, and do it daily. And if you already do have times where you feel connected to the Lord or talk to Him throughout the day, just extend the time a little bit, at least mentally. Even if you're tending to something, just invite Him into what you're tending to. If it's something that you feel requires so much of your focus, and allow and ask the Lord to renew your mind in ways that you don't feel you need to, or ways that you don't think to do so, or to intentionally do so, and ask Him for the guidance to do things intentionally, to plant seeds intentionally, to steward things intentionally according to what He says for your life, and also to what the Scripture says. And that's why it's important to read the Bible, because then we'll understand, what's going on, what's true and what's not true. When we hear things, when we see things, and that will come in our mind. But this is a part of putting Him first, and a different aspect of the concept of denying yourself, because again, it may feel like, I think I should do this, but maybe you don't really have the full scope like the Lord does, right? And the only time we may even have full scope is if He decides to give it to us. So it's a transition amongst other transitions, and we have to stay connected to Him. And ask for ease, a heart of ease, an easeful heart, one that's not anxious or stressed, a mind that's not stressed or anxious, and grace, to feel secure, and secure from Him more or less than ourselves, because We can tell ourselves anything, and our mind will believe it. As unfortunate as that is, it's pretty true. You know, our brain looks for it to be right because it can't live with itself if it's not. It's a very chaotic world to live in for humans as far as like our physical, our flesh, right? So we have to continue to, not even tap in, but continue to walk in the Spirit, and sit at the Lord's feet, hear His words, hear His voice, and sit in our own thought to know that He's there with us as well. So that's my piece for today. I hope that helps. God bless you all.